Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about something unusual. It was just a thought I had today, and it's a new way, it's a tabletop role-playing game subject, and it is a new way to think about the core four. It is a new way to think about fighters, clerics, wizards, and thieves, right? The core four. The base classes, the super classes that Gary Gygax, father of tabletop role-playing games, created, father of of a new awesome piece of Americana. And so, what is this concept? So I was thinking about these four core today. I'm working on a project, and I was just thinking about these a tabletop role-playing game project, and I was thinking about the core four and what they really are and what is their path, where do they end, right? And so I was thinking about it, and I came up with this mnemonic. So one of the things is, often, I know this sounds silly, but sometimes I forget the core four. I'm like, is it mage, warriors in there? Like, there's so many, different names for them that sometimes I forget them, right? And I'll just have to think twice. I always remember, and sometimes I'll forget cleric, or I'll just forget one of them. So I was just thinking about them today, and I came up with this mnemonic, this really easy way to think about them. And it rhymes. So it is Foresaker, someone who forsakes. Taker, someone who takes something, grabs it and takes it. Breaker, someone who breaks things, sunders them, cuts them in half. A breaker. And a maker, someone who creates something new. So, Foresaker, breaker, taker, and maker, right? And so it's just a really quick mnemonic. It's easy to remember, and it rhymes, right? But it also, in my opinion, this new way to think about the core four, a new way to express the core four, also shows you where they are heading, right? And so if you think about the fighter at the farthest end, level 20 or level 30, depending on what version of Dungeons and Dragons you are playing, the breaker, the fighter, is a world breaker, right? So that's where the word matches. It connects with world, right? So fighters are world breakers. People who will, a person who has mastered every weapon, a person who has mastered, fighting to a level where they've moved beyond fighting monsters. They've moved beyond fighting duels, and they are leading armies. They have followers. They are leading armies across realms, across planes. Fighters, at their farthest extent, are world breakers. Thieves, and I am aware that the new term is rogue, but I like thief, and I'm talking about this from the old school fundamental, or origination of Gary Gygax, right? And he called them thieves, right? So thieves are takers, right? And so from the farthest extent, a thief is a world taker, right? Someone who has moved beyond cutting purses and pocketing the change. Someone who has moved beyond stealing rings and cat burglary, right? Someone who is a world taker. Someone who will sneak into a kingdom and steal the crown, steal the symbol of a king, the stamp that will sign documents that will change laws. Someone who will take the biggest and the best prizes a world has to give and take them to new worlds, so a world taker, a thief who has graduated to the level where the things they change, the things they take, change cultures. The things that they take, the losses are felt so deeply that they're remembered for centuries. So a thief is a world taker, right? The wizard is a world maker, These are men and women who have moved past mastering all the spells in the spell book. These are wizards who have gone beyond creating new spells, filling entire spell books with new spells. These are, men and women who have the power, the magical power, to create entire pocket universes, to create extra dimensional spaces, to create new worlds where new people live. That's the farthest extent that a wizard will go, is a world maker. They're a world maker. What about the cleric? All right, the cleric is someone who has been so dedicated to their deity, so dedicated to law and good, and the principles that really are the foundation of the societies in which they live, of all that is good and all that builds things up. So clerics are so fundamentally devoted to their divine source of power that they are world forsakers. They have forsaken everything. They have forsaken, physical goods. They've forsaken wealth. They have forsaken, in many cases, power for their own selves. Most great clerics are, after they've done a mighty deed, they're going to point to their divinity, right? To their divine source, their deity, as the person that is, as the thing, as the source that is responsible for their great deeds. And I think, clerics, as they ramp up in power, as they reach their final destination, they become world forsakers, where they have left behind what is worldly and what is physical and what ties them to the temporal, right? So I was really just thinking about that, and at the end of this video, I just want to take a minute out there. There's a few people out there who watch my videos, and I really want to say thank you. This is a really neat idea I had today. I was delighted with it, and because I love this game. I love Dungeons and Dragons. It is a really precious thing to me. It has benefited my life tremendously. It has given me so many new great friends, and so much joy and so much awesome reading. And I deeply miss Gary Gygax. I never met him. I never spoke to him. I was in his presence. So I was at a Gen Con, I believe it was back in 2002, and he just walked by. And, I saw him from about 10, 20 feet away. And, it was an honor just to even be that close to him. And I really miss him, and I really deeply miss him. And just being able to have these worlds that I live in my mind are really special. And for you guys out there who are listening to my videos, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate when you listen to my thoughts on the game. And also, I know there's a lot of love out there for the game as well. And I wanted to share this idea. And I will tell you, I'm very fortunate to be connected with the Nerdarchy guys in New Jersey. But I am an evangelical Christian, and I work in an information technology environment. And my wife loves me deeply, but she is not a role-playing game fan. And so, if I'm away from the table and it's another week or two before I'm going to play again, a lot of times there isn't somebody to share these ideas with that are going to appreciate them. And I don't subject my family to hearing me talk about things that they don't care about, And so I just really appreciate that there's people out there in the world who want to hear about Dungeons and Dragons and are willing to take the time to listen to these videos. So just wanted to say thank you very much for listening to these videos. Thank you for taking the time to listen about takers, makers, forsakers, and breakers. Take care.